Well, Jim, very many congratulations on winning the title. You must be so proud of the players and everybody connected with the club.
Well, exactly. When you sit back and think about what you've achieved and how many people help you achieve it, it's that's the most satisfying part of it. Whether it be the players, the supporters, the coaches, the groundsmen, the kitmen. The office staff, it's just fantastic to everybody gets rewarded and the club get the I suppose the publicity that they deserve, because it was it's nice to do it and especially to win a trophy for the first time in the club's kind of a league history, Scottish Football League history. It's just fantastic.
Is this arguably the greatest achievement in the club's history then?
Well, I mean, I think Roger stated that. I mean, I don't know the Highland League. I know that they were a very successful Highland League team, and I suppose that's up to people as where they would put that. More important or whatever. But I just know in the league history, for me anyway, it's certainly the best achievement the club's made.
Yeah, absolutely. The team spirit is absolutely fantastic. That's been really key, hasn't it?
I think it's a key to most good teams, to be honest. It's something last year. I mean, we lost a game at Clyde last year, and I didn't like one or two things that I'd seen, and we changed one or two things. We let one or two players go. And straight away there was a massive improvement in the spirit, and it's something we went that fantastic run at the end of last season, and you could see the spirit was there, and it's been there ever since. And culminating on Saturday, being such a good atmosphere and such a happy place. I mean, it was fantastic to see. It was just like pals celebrating together, and that, to me, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, would you really have walked away, Jim, if you hadn't taken the club up?
I would have done. To be honest, I was always confident that I wouldn't need to do that, because I just felt as though we were well capable, and I was always quietly confident. But by the same token, you've got your own standards, and I just felt it would have been an underachievement for us not to do it with that team that we had, especially after the way we finished last season and the disappointment of losing out to East Fife, because I did feel over the two games we were the better side, and it would just have been hard to kind of motivate yourself for another season again, knowing again that possibly this season you had a good lead, and it would have been hard to lift everybody again, and it would have probably been better somebody else try to do that. But as I said, I was always confident that we would do it, and the players done it, and they've done it well.
What about the supporters, Jim? A word about them. You've got a very loyal band that will follow you through thick and thin.
Well, that's also something that you try and nurture at the club. I mean, we now kind of share a bus to away games with the supporters, and you get to know everybody, and the players get to know them, and I think what happens there is it can cut the players a bit of slack sometimes when things aren't going well or whatever. That the supporters stay behind them, and they understand that they're doing their best, and so there's been a relationship there. Obviously, on Saturday we had a bigger support than normal, especially away from home, and I know it would have been nicer to do it at home, but to win it away from home and have your real die-hard supporters there to witness it, again, made it a special day.
Yeah, absolutely. You've just won the title, obviously. Where do things go from here? Presumably, you're already looking ahead to next season.
Well, to be honest, that was something I never breached with anybody, because I knew that if we didn't win it, I wouldn't be here, and I was never going to speak to players as regards signing anybody up for next season. I know Rory's signed for next season anyway, and Graham Smith signed for next season. So now we can go on planning. And a couple of weeks ago, the chairman and Ian had been at me for, to kind of make plans, and I wouldn't take nothing for granted, and we wouldn't do it. So we'll start this week, and we'll start talking to the players. We'll try and get quickly organised for next season. I think it's fair to say that we probably need to bring in 2 or 3 players of good quality to try and make sure that we cope next year in a league above. And as I say, we'll now start planning for that.
There's a lot of potential at Peterhead, isn't there? I mean, how high can you take this club?
It's a tough one, to be honest, because clubs like ours rely on kind of individuals putting finance into the club, because obviously the club doesn't bring in enough money through the turnstiles or whatever, so we need to have a wee bit bigger budget than other teams because of your logistics, and you are relying on kind of individuals putting money into the club, and Roger's done it over the years, and Ian Grant now does it, and that's why it's, again, for me, so special that these people get awarded with winning the league, for instance. But I think the ambitions of the club, especially Roger, is to try and kind of do a Ross County type situation. But again, that's something I don't think we're quite ready for yet. I mean, I know that there's big plans to, for a kind of a redevelopment of Balmoor with with this whole kind of a sports project that's something and quite well forward, to be honest. And I think if something like that comes off, then you could think about, making that step to try and go semi-full time, and because I think that's the only way to do it. As a part-time team, it would be exceptionally hard to do a Ross County, but with a community type backing, and it would be more possible. So, in the short term, I think we'll do okay, because our team is of a good age. There's a lot. You always read a lot of stories about us, and they've got good experienced players and whatever. Well, we've got 2 or 3 good experienced players, but there's a lot of our players still learning the game. We play with 3 young centre backs most weeks, and they're just going to keep getting better. Rory's 26, Fraser McLaren's 25, and so Dean Cowie's still 25ish, and we've got good age about our team. So if I can just add the right guys to help them out, then I think there's still development to come in this team.
It's hopefully the start of a very exciting journey, and with the backing that the board have already given you, you and the board working in tandem. I mean, it's there's a lot you can achieve together.
There is. I mean, I think that's also the key. To being successful is having a good relationship with your directors and your board, and to be honest, that was another reason why. I mean, my wife thinks I'm bonkers, because I would have thought about leaving somewhere that I'm so happy. But my thinking is sometimes is that I would like to leave happy with good friends rather than be, pushed out the door and things to go sour. And but for me personally, to go to the club when I do, and I really enjoy it, because I've got a fantastic relationship with the board. I mean, we've got 2 directors, Ian Grant and Harry Fraser, that come to training every Wednesday and make toast and tea for the players. And I mean, these are guys that are, they're wealthy guys in their own right, and that's things like that are important to me, and that's what we've got at the club, and with the backing of the board and the relationship being so good with myself and the coaching staff and the players, it does make things a hell of a lot easier.